Hey guys, so it's been a while since I've done a proper investing video, so I'm coming to you with one today. And so in this video, I'm going to talk to you about some of the main investing platforms that exist in Europe and explain some of the features, how they work to you to help you make a decision on which one might be the best for you. So let's get right into the video. Alright, so in order to decide which platforms to have a look at for this video, I did a bit of a web quest and looked on websites and blogs to see what other people were saying about some of the best platforms in Europe for trading and investing. And in this video, I'm going to be talking more about the investing side because for those of you that watch the channel, you'll know I'm a long-term investor. That's kind of my philosophy when it comes to investing, but I will touch on, other features that the platforms have if, a different style of investing is something that you're interested in. And so for the 4 platforms that I'm going to talk about in today's video, I'm going to give you a bit of background about the platform, where they're from, about their regulation, their security features, and I'm going to talk to you about some of the advantages of using these platforms, as well as some of the disadvantages or maybe points to consider when you're using each of these platforms. So with that said, let's get right into it. So the first platform I'm going to talk about in the video is eToro. Now, eToro is registered both in the UK and in Cyprus, has been around for quite a while, and many of you may be familiar with eToro already because of the copy trading feature that is part of the platform, which we'll talk about as we get more into the detail. So as I mentioned, the platform is regulated both in the UK by the FCA and by the CySEC in Cyprus. It's important to know that you're not covered by the FSCS if you deposit on eToro, but the platform says, according to their website, that assets and cash is held in a segregated bank account for customers, so if anything were to happen to the platform, your money is safe. So let's have a look at some of the good stuff about eToro. I must admit the platform has a relatively easy user interface. It's pretty easy to navigate. It's got nice little charts. You can navigate around without too much problem. You can also do fractional share investing on this platform. That means you don't have to buy whole shares if you're investing on eToro. You are able to invest commission-free on eToro, but that is compensated by a commission when you deposit on the platform. So it's not completely commission free, but for any trades, any investments that you make on the platform, they are indeed commission free. And another advantage for some people might be the copy trading feature, which I mentioned earlier in the video. So essentially, certain users on eToro publish their portfolios, their investments, and what you can do is essentially copy them and essentially you put your money in and everything that this user does will be replicated in your account. So if you're comfortable with not doing anything and your investments and your returns being in someone else's hands on eToro, then this is an interesting feature, perhaps something you can consider for your investments to save time. But it's not something that I personally would do. Now let's look at some of the drawbacks of using eToro. So when you invest on eToro, yes, you can deposit in euros, in pounds, whatever on the platform, but your base currency will always be dollars. So when you invest in a stock, whether it's in Europe, whether it's in the UK, in Asia, if it's in the US, everything is quoted in dollars. So for someone who's in Europe, who's not used to working with dollars, it can be a little bit off-putting, particularly if you've deposited money in pounds or euros on the platform. And in turn, if you're investing in non-US dollar assets, then it opens you up to an exchange fluctuation risk as well. And it could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing, but essentially the return on your investment is not only dictated by how a stock or a company or an asset performs, but also by what happens with the US dollar exchange rate versus your original currency. And then the second thing that I don't like about eToro, and it's one of the main reasons I'm put off the platform, is that it's very pushy about trading, not just from an advertising perspective, but also from the actual interface. It is way too easy to fall into the mistake of buying leveraged assets. At least with platforms like Trading 212, which we'll talk about a little bit later in the video, you have a separate mode to trade in when it comes to CFDs. But with eToro, if you want to leverage, that means invest more money than you have, and as a result risk losing more money and having your position closed by a margin call, then it's really too easy to do that because you'll see in the user interface there's a leverage thing. You can multiply it by 2, by 3, by 5. I don't know how many times it lets you go up. But for me, that's a big red flag, particularly given the simplicity of the user interface, that it could trip up a lot of newbie or rookie investors that are not familiar with the differences between buying the underlying asset or buying like a CFD or a leveraged asset. It's one of the reasons why I personally don't use eToro, along with the fact that, the FSCS doesn't cover any deposits on the platform. But for me, I just find it a bit off-putting, and it's not something that I particularly like about the platform. That said, though, that's just my opinion, and I see why a lot of people do use eToro and why a lot of people do like it as well. So, it might be suitable for you if you're watching this video. The next platform I'm going to talk about is Trading 212. Now, I've been using Trading 212 for several years now. Back a few years ago, I used to share portfolio updates from several pies that I used to hold on the platform. So, I'm very familiar with the platform, and I do still have some investments on the platform today. Now, Trading 212 is regulated in 3 countries. It's regulated by the FCA in the UK, it's regulated by the Financial Services Commission in Bulgaria, and also by the SISEC again in Cyprus. And unlike eToro, Trading 212 is covered by the FSCS up to £85,000. Now, Trading 212 is very similar to eToro in the sense that it has a very user-friendly interface. A lot of the assets that you can trade on the platform are similar. You've got stocks, you've got ETFs, and you have CFDs as well. You don't have crypto though, but you do have an ISA mode for people living in the UK, which we'll talk about in just a second as well. Trading 212 has come to popularity through the low deposit requirements for the platform, so you can get started from £1 or €1 or $1 on the platform, and you can start investing. So we'll get into the advantages now, and those are some of the key advantages I find of the platform. A user-friendly interface, a very low deposit requirement. It makes investing very accessible for everybody. Like eToro, you can invest in fractional shares, and unlike eToro, you can set up your account in different currencies. So I can set up an account in euros or in pounds or in dollars, depending on what is my currency of preference when I'm operating with Trading 212. In addition, there's multiple ways that you can top up your account on Trading 212. You can top it up instantly by credit or debit card, though there are some commissions involved with this, or you can top up by bank transfer for free. And with most securities on the platform as well, it is completely commission free when you buy the asset. You may only have to pay, for example, stamp duty if you're buying stocks listed on the FTSE, or like the French government tax if you're buying assets in France, for example. As I said as well, in the UK, they also offer an ISA, so that means you can invest up to £20,000 per year, tax-free, on the platform, and that will count towards your ISA allowance. And lastly, one of the features that I've showcased a lot on my channel is the pie feature. And this is a really great feature because you can set up a portfolio of assets, whether it's ETFs or particular stocks that you want to invest in, and you can essentially set up a recurring deposit into your pie, which will then be distributed across your portfolio. So it's essentially investing on autopilot. You just leave it, your money does the work, and it also gives you nice little projections of what your expected return and what your expected balance is going to be over the years based on your investing goal. Now, if we look at some of the drawbacks of Trading 212, so it's really good, obviously, for beginner investors, even more advanced investors. It's a really great platform. But if you're looking for stocks or assets that are beyond kind of the main indices of the world, the main, ETFs or stocks in the world, then you probably won't find them on Trading 212. They have been expanding their range of assets, their range of stocks over the years. But if you're looking to invest in some obscure, mid or small cap companies, you're probably not going to find it on Trading 212. You're only going to really find, the large cap stocks, maybe a couple of startups on there. But that, I would say, is one of the drawbacks of Trading 212, that they don't have some of these more medium and small cap stocks on the platform. In addition, withdrawing money can get a little bit messy if you've deposited with multiple cards or bank accounts, because of the way that it will always default to the card that you've used the most. And then if you, for whatever reason, lose the card or the card expires, then it can all get a bit complicated, which is why I stopped topping up via card. And when I top up, it's by bank transfer, because to remove cards, you have to go through customer service, and you get to the bottom of the issue eventually, but it can take a bit of a while. That's the only thing. And when you want to access your money, if you really can't wait, then it's a bit of an inconvenience. So but yeah, other than these 2 points, Trading 212 is a really great platform. And whether you're a beginner investor or you've been investing for a while and you're looking for a way to simplify your investments, then Trading 212 is a really great solution for investors. And if you're interested in signing up to Trading 212, they have an offer on at the minute where if you sign up via my link, you and I will get a free share each worth up to £100, euros, dollars, whatever. So I'll leave my link in the video description for you so that you can make that sign. The next platform I'm going to talk about is DEGIRO. Now, DEGIRO is a Dutch investing platform. However, it has recently moved its kind of setup to Germany, but operates out of its German bank's Dutch branch still. And as a result is regulated by the DNB, the Netherlands Bank, which is the Dutch financial regulator. It's also covered by several deposit protection schemes such as the FSCS in the UK, and it's also protected by the DNB protection scheme in the Netherlands for up to 100,000 euros for any cash you've got in your account, and for up to 20,000 euros if you have any assets in your account. Now, this would only really kick in the case that, you know, the platform did something really bad like fraud and lost your assets, because otherwise your assets, like your investments on the platform, are yours, and you know, if the broker went under, you're still a holder of those assets, and it will just get transferred to another broker essentially. So DEGIRO lets you invest in assets such as stocks and ETFs, but you can also invest in assets such as bonds, futures, options, along with a whole range of others as well. Again, DEGIRO is a pretty user-friendly application to use. It's maybe not as intuitive as Trading 212's or eToro's, but it is nevertheless pretty simple to navigate around and you know, take actions and make transactions on the platform. And if you're looking to invest in some more small or mid-cap stocks that are maybe not available on Trading 212 or eToro, then you may find them on DEGIRO, because there's a much wider range of stocks and ETFs on there, from the US stocks, European stocks, into the Asian markets as well, and Australia even as well. There's a wide selection of stocks and ETFs on the platform. Another thing that's particularly useful with DEGIRO is that when it comes to filing your taxes, whichever European country you're in, based on where you've set up your account, they will provide annual summaries and statements that will help you when it comes to filling out your taxes based on where you live. You've also got a nice little news feed on DEGIRO where you can see key news about companies, about economic events that are coming up, which can be really useful as well if you're, you know, a frequent trader, or if you're just looking to find out what's going on the market and you want relevant information. In terms of commissions, DEGIRO does have commissions, but they are competitive and low commissions when it comes to investing. Now, on the flip side, topping up your account can take a little while with DEGIRO, because you can only do it by bank transfer. So you do need to allow a day or 2 days for money to pass between your bank account and you know, the account that you have on DEGIRO. So there's no instant top up like there is on Trading 212, for example. So you do have to be aware of that. Another thing with DEGIRO is that there are no fractional shares available, so you can only buy whole shares on the platform, no fractional share investing. But overall, DEGIRO, another great platform, perhaps something that someone who's more experienced and looking to invest in, you know, maybe small or mid-cap stocks, or more less mainstream ETFs or stocks, for lack of a better word, they can probably find them on DEGIRO. If you're interested in signing up to DEGIRO, I will leave my referral link in the video description for you so that you can sign up to the platform. And finally, the last platform I'm going to talk about now is Interactive Brokers. Interactive Brokers is a platform that I recently started using, and it's probably one of the most well-known investing services, not just in Europe, but around the world as well. It's a regulated and licensed broker around the world, and it also is covered by multiple deposit protection schemes around the world as well. So wherever you're living, there is a deposit protection scheme in place that covers your investments and your cash deposited on Interactive Brokers, whether it's the US, whether it's Canada, whether you're living in Europe, the UK. It has the coverage. And when it comes to the range of assets you can invest in, Interactive Brokers has pretty much got them all. You know, you got stocks, you got ETFs, you got mutual funds, you've got options, you got bonds, futures, Forex you can invest in as well. The list goes on with Interactive Brokers. So the advantages of Interactive Brokers, based on what I just said, is that it's probably the most comprehensive and the most complete investing platform out there on the market. You can do pretty much whatever you want from an investing perspective. You know, if you're a casual investor, then you can make your investments on the platform. But you've also got a range of different accounts that are offered. If you're like a pro trader, if you're an institutional investor, for example, you know, the platform has a range of solutions that cover every profile of investor pretty much. And another thing that I think is particularly good about Interactive Brokers, based on its worldwide presence, is that for that reason, it's probably something that, you know, a digital nomad or someone who travels frequently or moves around the world should probably consider over the other platforms, because, you know, if you move country, then the chances are Interactive Brokers is there. And you won't have to worry about, perhaps, you know, if you move outside of Europe, then you won't have to close your account, because there'll be an Interactive Brokers most likely wherever you're moving. So from a travel or digital nomad perspective, then Interactive Brokers is almost a no-brainer in terms of selecting your investments from that perspective. Now, talking about some of the drawbacks of Interactive Brokers, now, unlike the other three softwares, the user interface is pretty complicated to navigate. I've been investing since 2019, and even I right now I'm struggling sometimes to navigate the interface of Interactive Brokers. It sometimes takes a while. I have to read a couple of articles online, so it's not the most user-friendly, the most intuitive. You do probably need to have some experience using the platform or be an experienced investor to know what you're doing with the platform, essentially. In addition, and similar to DEGIRO, you can't invest in fractional shares on Interactive Brokers. You do have to buy full shares. And when it comes to the commissions, you know, they're not terrible, but I do find that in Europe particular, the commissions are a little bit higher than in the US, and particularly compared to the 3 other brokers that were mentioned in the video, the commissions are a little bit higher. But it can be expected, you know, given the range of services that come with the platform and given, you know, kind of Interactive Brokers' platform itself, you know, the commissions do have some sense. So guys, those were the 4 platforms I wanted to talk about in this video. As you can see, there's something for everyone here, whether you're looking for an automated investing solution, whether you're a beginner and you're just looking to get started, whether you're a digital nomad and you're looking to move around the world perhaps, then there is something for you in terms of an investing platform that you can use. Leave a comment and let me know, guys, which of these investing platforms do you think is right for you? Or if you're already investing with one of these platforms, how has your experience been? Until next time, I'll see you on the next one, and let's get this money.